Blessings to all. Share this YouTube for everyone to see and kick the neck.
48. Vedabha Jatak. Anupeta yoethan, ich chati so vibhagnati. Vedahathinshu vedahim, sabbe te vyasana majjaguti. And once upon a time, the Lord Buddha, whose virtues were as immovable as the sea, was worshipped by God. As the temple closes, he spoke this Jatak for a poor monk. It is not now that Sarvajanana sought for that monk, and that he was poor. It was the same as before. A. Will the wise men not take refuge from the fact that they ran away and be torn apart and destroyed by the sharp-edged wave? Vidarav asked whether 1,000 men would have come to life because of this one person. Once upon a time, when a king named Brahmadatta was ruling the city of Varanasi, a certain monk in a village knew a mantra called Vedabina. That mantra Kali is precious. I feel, when you have auspicious yoga, after filling that mantra and looking at the sky, animals will rain from the sky. At that time, we great bodhisattvas, who had the riches of Bodhi, learned the craft from that Bunmana. Then one day the Brahman called the Bodhi animals and left his village for some business and went to the kingdom of Chaitya. On the way, I was attacked by a thief named Pesanakachra, about 500. Those Pesanikavaras captured the Bodhi animals and the Bamuna named Vedabha. It is said that Jasanaka is wary of whatever he baits, so that when he catches two of them baiting, one is sent to fetch the goods and the other is kept nearby. Therefore, he is called Jasanakavara. When he was baiting, the two sons grabbed one of the father and told the father that even if they brought us treasures, they would rescue the sons and send them away. In this way, the two sons capture a mother and send the mother to fetch the objects. They catch one of the two and send them to take the belongings. Acharya catches two non-residents and sends the non-resident to take the objects. At that time, when the thieves gave 500, Vedabha caught the Bamuna and the Bodhisattvas took away the treasures. Bodhi animals worship the priests. Don't let yourself go. I will say one more. Do as I said. Today is the Nakshatra Yoga that conceals the 7 stars. Make sure it doesn't rain. If you become like rain from now on, you will also come to destruction. They warned the priests that these 500 thieves are also coming to destruction and took away the treasures. When the thieves went to Hiruashtra, they tied up Bamuna and found them. At that moment, the lunar constellation rose, complete with the eastern sakas. At that time, Bamuna was observing the Nakshatra Yoga, who received the Nakshatra Yoga of Sampath Varsha Vaswana. Therefore, what is the benefit to me of eating pains and sufferings in bondage? He cursed the thieves thinking that he will fill the mantra and send rain to the 7 lords and give treasures to the thieves. Dear thief, why did you touch me? Achari, when it was said that for wealth, if you have any use for the wealth, I will free you from the bondage, bathe immediately, put on new clothes, put on perfume and plant flowers. The thief heard the story of the baiter and did so. At that time Bamuna knew Nakshatra Yoga and filled the mantra and looked up at the sky. At that moment, it rained from the sky. Thieves put that wealth together and went out with bundles of northern cloaks. Bamuna also followed them. After that, those 500 thieves caught 500 other thieves. When he asked what he was in love with, he said he was in love with the object. If you have the benefit of wealth, you will catch this Bamuna. This Brahman looked up at the sky and rained wealth. It was said that this object was given to us by him. At that time, Bamuna Alvagattu said that apart from the thieves who are thieves, we also have wealth. Bamuna means I will give you objects. Kali, who is the Nakshatra Yoga, who rains animals, will die here in a year. He said, if you have benefited from the wealth, be patient for a while, and the rain of wealth will cover you. Bamuna, who heard Ebers and became a thief, became a wicked man. Asking if you will rain riches on Sesson now and tell us to wait for another year, with a sharp-edged sword he cut the Bamuna in two and cut them in two. Mara were divided in this manner and only two remained after killing each other. Until then they killed each other. Thus those men came to the destruction of 1,000. He took the treasure with two tricks and hid the treasure in a forest near a village. One takes a shawl and goes to the village to cook rice. Greed is the root of destruction. Then they stood near that object and thought like this. When that man comes, this object will be divided into two parts. Therefore, it would be better if I killed him with a sword in the sight of him. He raised his sword from its scabbard and watched the way he was coming. The other man who went to cook rice also thinks that the wealth will be divided into two parts. Therefore, I thought it would be better if I became the subject of this rice and killed that man and took the property alone. After that, the man who cooked the rice ate the wet rice at the end of the cooking, poisoned the remaining rice, took the rice and went to the place where the objects were buried. With just a glance at the rice he was keeping, he cut it in two with the sword of the person who was guarding the treasure, put it in a deer's place and ate the rice and died there. Thus 1,000 thieves came to destruction because of the treasure. After a day or two, the bodhisattvas and the acharyas were freed, and those who brought the treasure, seeing the wealth scattered where the acharyas had not seen the acharyas, came out of the great forest saying that the acharyas had rained wealth without my telling them. The people who were going, Mahabosatano, fell into two groups in the middle of the acharyas, saw water and died without telling me. 1,000 men born of these two have come to destruction. There must be two other thieves. Both of them do not get carried away by the object. The great Bosatana, who was going in front of them, asked where they had gone. The two of them took the wealth and saw the people who had gone on foot to the forest. They saw the bundles of riches. They saw the dead people on the rice paddy and saw that they had done such a thing. Where did the men go now? You are doomed because your teachers did not obey me and did not obey. Came 1,000 other men were destroyed by them. 1,000 men who were alienated by them were brought to destruction. Therefore, thinking that the beings who wish for improvement in the pursuit without a strategy will come to great destruction like the acharyas, and in this way, Mahabosatana, like our acharyas, without a strategy, they have accumulated wealth and come to life, and the lives of others have also been doomed to destruction. Similarly, some other animal is a trick without it. If one strives to desire things for himself, he will not be satisfied with all things. Convinced that others would also be doomed to destruction, he preached the Dharma while God was giving sadhkara, brought the treasure to his house and performed the benedictions at the end of his life and went to the heavenly world. Lord Buddha, who was a monk, disappeared and will not appear now. He finished this Vedabha Jatak by giving this sermon and said, does it come to great destruction because it was a daughter before? At the same time, he said to himself, if I am a Vedabha Brahmin, I am now this disobedient monk, and if I am a recluse, I will be the same Buddha as Tiloguru Samyak.